Londra'da FXTM küresel kur stratejisi başkanı Jameel Ahmad var karşımızda. Jameel, good morning.
Good morning and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. We just see emerging market currencies depreciating around 6.5% year to date. Do you believe that trend is going to move further due to the high growth rate and positive momentum on US economy and US dollar?
Actually, this is a very interesting topic and it's an excellent question to ask. A lot of the recent pressure in the emerging market currencies where they've suffered their worst weeks and quarter since 2016 is actually because of this risk of atmosphere in the global market. So there's concerns over trade war, concerns over potential geopolitical tensions, and ultimately this is affecting investor appetite towards taking on risk because emerging market currencies and assets are seen as riskier assets. However, if you look on the growth side of the things, emerging market growth is still very strong and still performing very well. So there's actually an argument here that emerging market stocks and emerging market currencies are actually very heavily oversold at this point. And if investors become more attracted towards taking on risk, that the emerging market currencies can actually rebound from their current points.
And I would like to ask a few questions about Turkey as well. Turkey is negatively diverged from other emerging market currencies. Turkish lira depreciated over 22% right now. What is the major triggering point on that kind of depreciation? And do you believe that will go further in the near future due to the latest geopolitical problems and also the relations with the United States?
Unfortunately, the Turkish lira has had a very bad year, and the losses are over 20% in 2018 are really excessive when you consider that the currency entered 2018 anyway, looking very oversold. However, investor confidence in the Turkish lira and in Turkish assets remains very low. And with these more escalating headlines around potential political tensions between the United States and Turkey seeming to come back into the headlines, it's quite likely that Turkish lira will remain under pressure. The economy is performing well, however, inflation is a problem, and it's looking more likely than not that the Turkish lira will at some point hit 5 against the US dollar.
And also we just heard some words from VP United States Vice President Mike Pence claiming there will be some sanctions to be implemented to Turkey. Do you believe that is going to change the general course on Turkish lira, or do you believe that Turkish lira is really sold off enough?
Although the Turkish lira is very much oversold and it's looking like its selling pressure has been very excessive, this is still seen as somewhat of an escalating and a new risk for Turkish assets, including both the currencies and the market. If it is true that the United States imposes sanctions on Turkey, it's going to cause more problems for the Turkish lira, and it's probably going to mean that the Turkish lira hits more pressure, more selling momentum over the medium term, and that the outlook will still deteriorate further.
Jameel, thank you very much for joining us today.